Hey Aquarius, welcome back. I need to share something with you today because the energy coming through these cards is really significant. This reading is about something that has come to a complete stop in your life. And honestly, when I laid out these cards, I could feel how much has been going on behind the scenes that you might not have been fully aware of. There have been third parties involved in your situation. People who have been watching, interfering, maybe even spreading information that wasn't theirs to share. But here's what I want you to understand right from the start. Someone important, someone who actually matters in this situation, they discovered the truth. They saw what was really happening. And because of that discovery, certain people got kicked out of the picture. This is not a reading about what might happen. This is about what is happening right now, and I think you are going to recognize exactly what. I am talking about as we move through these cards together. I pulled 6 cards for you today, and I am going to take my time with each one because there is so much depth here. The universe is really trying to communicate something important to you, and I want to make sure we capture all of it. So let me start with the first card I pulled. And this one immediately told me that there was a situation that involved watching surveillance, or people keeping tabs on what you were doing. The first card that came out is the Knight of Swords. Now, when I see this card in a reading about third-party interference and truth coming to light, I immediately think about swift action, about messages being delivered quickly, about information traveling fast. The Knight of Swords is all about cutting through confusion and getting to the heart of the matter without hesitation. This knight does not waste time. He moves with purpose and urgency. In your situation, Aquarius, this card is telling me that there was a moment when truth cut through all the lies, all the manipulation, all the smoke and mirrors that third parties were creating. Someone came in with clarity and speed, and they exposed what was really going on. Think about this knight as the energy of revelation. Someone either told the truth directly, or information came to light so quickly that there was no time for anyone to cover it up or spin a different narrative. This could have been a conversation that happened suddenly, a message that was sent, maybe even evidence that surfaced unexpectedly. The Knight of Swords does not tiptoe around difficult topics. This energy is about confronting reality head-on, and in your reading, it represents the moment when everything started to unravel for those third parties who were interfering in your life. What I find really interesting about this card appearing first is that it sets the tone for everything that follows. This was not a slow revelation. This was not something that gradually came to light over time. This was fast. It was decisive. It was like someone pulled back a curtain and suddenly everything was visible. The Knight of Swords carries the energy of intellectual clarity too. This means that whoever discovered the truth, they were able to see through emotional manipulation, through false narratives, through carefully constructed lies. They used their mind, their logic, their ability to discern what was real from what was fabricated. And once they saw the truth, they acted on it immediately. There was no hesitation, no second guessing, no allowing things to continue as they were. This is powerful, Aquarius, because it shows that justice came swiftly in your situation. The people who were causing problems did not get away with their behavior. Now, I also want to talk about what this card means for you personally. The Knight of Swords appearing in your reading suggests that you yourself might embody some of this energy moving forward. You are being called to be direct, to be clear, to cut through any remaining confusion in your life. If there are still situations where you are not sure what is true or what is real, this card is encouraging you to seek clarity with determination. Do not accept vague explanations. Do not settle for half-truths. Go after the complete picture with the same intensity that this knight brings to every situation. This is also about communication for you. You might need to have some direct conversations in the near future. Conversations where you speak your truth without softening it or worrying too much about how it will be received. The Knight of Swords energy is about being authentic and straightforward. And that is what the universe is asking from you right now. Be honest about what you saw, what you experienced, and what you know to be true. Your clarity and directness will actually help clean up any remaining mess from this situation with third parties. People respect honesty, even when it is uncomfortable. And your willingness to be direct will earn you respect from those who matter. The second card I pulled is the Devil. And oh, Aquarius, this card explains so much about what was really happening behind the scenes. The devil represents toxicity, manipulation, unhealthy attachments, and people who are operating from their shadow side. When this card appears in a reading about third parties and interference, it is telling me that there were individuals in your situation who were acting from a place of jealousy, possessiveness, control, or pure ego. These were not people who had your best interests at heart. These were people who were trying to maintain power, trying to keep you in a certain position, trying to manipulate circumstances to serve their own agenda. The devil energy is insidious because it often works in the shadows. It whispers poison in ears. It creates doubt where there should be trust. It feeds insecurity and fear. The third parties in your situation were using these tactics, Aquarius. They were not being direct or honest. They were working behind the scenes, spreading information, maybe even lies, creating drama, trying to influence how others perceived you or your situation. What I really want you to understand about the Devil card is that it represents bondage and chains. But here's the thing about those chains in the traditional tarot imagery. They are loose. The people who are bound by the devil could actually just lift those chains off and walk away. But they choose not to because they have been convinced they are trapped. This is what those third parties were trying to do to you or to someone important in your life. They were trying to create a sense of obligation, of being stuck, of having no other options. They wanted people to believe that the toxic situation was the only option available. But you know what? The truth came out, and suddenly those chains were revealed for what they really were, illusions. When the Knight of Swords came through with that swift truth, it broke the spell that the devil energy had been casting. People could suddenly see clearly. They could see that they were not actually trapped, that they did have choices. They did not have to continue entertaining the toxic behavior of these third parties. This is why those individuals got kicked out of the situation. Once their manipulation tactics were exposed, once the truth about their behavior came to light, there was no reason to keep them around anymore. The Devil card is also telling me that these third parties might have been dealing with their own demons. They might have been projecting their insecurities onto your situation. Maybe they were jealous of what you have, or what you are building. Maybe they felt threatened by your growth or your connection with someone important. Maybe they could not stand to see you happy or successful. So they tried to bring you down to their level, tried to create chaos and confusion, tried to make you doubt yourself or your path. But here is what the universe wants you to know, Aquarius. That energy has been removed from your life now. The person who discovered the truth recognized the devil energy for what it was and made the conscious choice to break free from it. They kicked those people out because they understood that nothing good could come from continuing to engage with that toxic energy. This is actually a huge victory for you, even if it felt chaotic or painful when it was happening. Sometimes the universe has to expose the darkness before the light can fully come in. Now, the third card that came through is the Nine of Cups. And I have to tell you, when I saw this card appear after the devil, I felt this wave of relief. The Nine of Cups is known as the wish fulfillment card. It is about emotional satisfaction, about getting what you truly want, about feeling content and happy on a deep level. This card appearing in your reading is telling me that once those toxic third parties were removed from the situation, once the truth came out and people were able to see clearly, there is now space for genuine happiness to enter. This is your wish fulfillment, Aquarius. This is about what you have been hoping for, what you have been wishing would happen. The Nine of Cups is saying that it is coming to fruition now that the interference has been cleared away. Think about what you really want in your heart, not what other people think you should want. Not what would make sense logically or practically, but what would truly make you happy. That is what this card is pointing toward. And the beautiful thing about the Nine of Cups appearing here is that it suggests the person who discovered the truth and kicked out those third parties. They want you to be happy too. They are not trying to control the situation or manipulate outcomes. They genuinely want to see you fulfilled and content. This could be someone who cares about you deeply. Someone who was watching what was happening and finally had enough of seeing you being mistreated or interfered with. When they saw the truth about those third parties, they took action specifically because they want to protect your happiness and your peace. The Nine of Cups is also about emotional maturity and knowing what you want. This is not about childish fantasies or unrealistic expectations. This is about having a clear understanding of what brings you genuine joy and satisfaction, and being willing to honor that. I think you have reached a point in your life where you know what you want, Aquarius. You are not confused about it anymore. You are not trying to convince yourself to want something different or to settle for less than what you deserve. You have clarity about your desires, and that clarity is powerful. It is what helped the truth come to light in the first place, because when you are clear about what you want, you stop tolerating things that do not align with that vision. You stop accepting interference from people who are not supporting your happiness. The Nine of Cups is also telling me that you have every reason to feel proud of yourself right now. You maintained your standards. You did not compromise your happiness just to keep the peace or to avoid confrontation. You held space for what you truly wanted, even when third parties were trying to push you in a different direction. And now the universe is rewarding that integrity. You are about to experience the emotional fulfillment that you have been working toward. This might show up in your relationships, in your creative projects, in your personal life, or in multiple areas at once. But the key message is that you get to be happy now. The obstacles have been removed. The people who were blocking your joy have been cleared out of the way, and there is beautiful, genuine happiness waiting for you. The fourth card is the Knight of Wands. And this energy is so different from the devil energy we talked about earlier. The Knight of Wands is passionate, adventurous, exciting, and full of life. This knight is about pursuing what sets your soul on fire without apology. When I see this card in your reading, especially after the Nine of Cups, I am getting the message that not only is happiness coming your way, but it is going to be exciting happiness. This is not quiet contentment. This is not just peaceful satisfaction. This is vibrant, passionate, exhilarating energy that is about to enter your life. The Knight of Wands could represent a person who is coming into your situation. Someone who is bold and confident and unafraid to go after what they want. This could be someone who was watching what happened with those third parties, who saw the truth come out, and who is now free to pursue a connection with you without all that interference. Or this could represent your energy, Aquarius. This could be showing you that once the drama cleared and those toxic people were removed, you are ready to move forward with passion and confidence. You are ready to pursue your desires, to take risks, to embrace adventure, to live fully without holding back. The Knight of Wands does not hesitate. He sees what he wants and he goes after it with everything he has. This is the energy that is available to you now. After dealing with all that manipulation and toxicity from third parties, after having to navigate confusion and interference, you now get to step into this bold, passionate energy where you are free to pursue what makes you feel alive. No more obstacles. No more people trying to hold you back or confuse the situation. Just clear, direct forward movement toward what excites you. I love that this card appeared in your reading because it is telling me that the aftermath of this situation is not going to be quiet or boring. You are not just going to sit around feeling relieved that the drama is over. You are going to actively create something new and exciting in your life. You are going to take action on your desires. You are going to pursue opportunities that light you up inside. The Knight of Wands is also about confidence and charisma. When you embody this energy, people are drawn to you. You become magnetic because you are fully alive, fully present, fully engaged with your own life and passions. This is very attractive energy, and I think other people are going to notice this shift in you. They are going to see that you are no longer weighed down by that toxic situation, that you are free and vibrant and ready to embrace life fully. And that energy is going to open doors for you. New opportunities are going to present themselves. New connections are going to form. Things are going to start moving quickly in a positive direction, which is such a contrast to the stagnation and toxicity of the devil energy. The Knight of Wands moves fast. He does not waste time. So whatever's coming next for you, it is going to unfold quickly. You might feel like things are suddenly accelerating, like life is picking up pace, and that is exactly what is supposed to happen. You have been held back for long enough. Now, it is time to fly forward at full speed. The fifth card I pulled is the Ace of Swords, and this card is absolutely perfect for where you are right now, Aquarius. The Ace of Swords represents clarity, truth, breakthrough, and mental clarity. This is the card of cutting through illusion and seeing reality exactly as it is. In your reading, this card is confirming that what happened with those third parties being discovered and kicked out was a moment of pure truth. The Ace of Swords cuts through all the noise, all the confusion, all the lies and manipulation, and it reveals what is real. This is a new beginning for you in terms of clarity and understanding. You are entering a phase where you are going to see things so clearly, where there is no more confusion or doubt about what happened or who was responsible. The fog has lifted completely. You understand now what was going on behind the scenes. You understand who was interfering and why. You understand what the truth is, and that understanding is incredibly powerful. The Ace of Swords is also about justice and fairness. This card is telling me that what happened when those third parties got kicked out was not just about revenge or anger. It was about establishing what is right. It was about making sure that truth prevailed over lies, that honesty was honored over manipulation. The person who discovered the truth and took action, they were operating from a place of integrity. They were doing what was fair and just, not what was easy or convenient. And the universe is acknowledging that. The Ace of Swords is one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck when it comes to truth and justice. It is saying that you are on the right side of this situation, that what happened was necessary and correct, and that you can move forward with complete confidence, knowing that truth has won. I also want to talk about what the Ace of Swords means for your future. As an ace, this card represents a new beginning. This is not just about the ending of the toxic situation with third parties. This is about a fresh start that is now possible because that situation ended. You get to begin again with clarity, with truth as your foundation, with no more illusions clouding your judgment. This new beginning might be in a relationship, in a personal project, in how you see yourself, or in multiple areas of your life. But the key is that you are starting from a place of absolute clarity now. You know what you want, you know what is true, you know who you can trust, and you know what you will not tolerate. That clarity is your sword. It is your protection and your power. Use it to cut away anything that does not serve you. Use it to speak your truth clearly and directly. Use it to make decisions that are aligned with reality, not with wishful thinking or fear. The Ace of Swords is giving you the power of discernment. You are going to be able to see through people and situations much more easily now. If someone tries to manipulate you or deceive you in the future, you will recognize it immediately. If a situation is not what it appears to be on the surface, you will sense that and investigate further. Your intuition combined with your mental clarity is going to be incredibly sharp moving forward. Trust that. Trust your ability to see truth. You have earned this clarity through everything you have experienced. The sixth and final card I pulled for you is the Six of Cups. And this card brings such a sweet, nostalgic energy to your reading. The Six of Cups is about innocence, childhood memories, past connections, and pure, uncomplicated love. When I see this card appear after everything we have discussed about third-party interference and truth coming to light, I am getting a very specific message. This card is telling me that once all the toxicity and manipulation was cleared away, what remained was something pure. There is a connection or a situation in your life that is rooted in genuine care, an authentic emotion, in real history between people. The Six of Cups often represents reconnection with someone from your past or rekindling something that existed. Right. Before all the complications set in your situation, Aquarius, I think this card is saying that the person who discovered the truth and kicked out those third parties, they might be someone who has known you for a while. There is history there. There is genuine affection. This is not a superficial connection. This is someone who remembers who you really are, who sees your heart, who cares about you in a way that goes beyond surface-level attraction or convenience. The third parties that were interfering, they were trying to complicate something that was actually quite simple and pure at its core. They were adding drama and confusion to a connection that did not need all of that. And now that they have been removed, what is left is the original, genuine feeling between you and this important person. The Six of Cups has this beautiful quality of innocence to it. It is about approaching relationships and situations with an open heart, without cynicism or suspicion, trusting in the goodness of the other person. After everything you have been through with those third parties and their manipulation, you might have built up some walls or become more guarded. And that is completely understandable and probably was necessary for a time. But the Six of Cups is telling you that it is safe to let those walls down now. It is safe to be vulnerable again, to trust again, to approach this connection with openness and hope. The people who were causing problems are gone. What remains is something worth being vulnerable for. This card also talks about healing. There might have been wounds created by all that interference, by the lies that were told, by the confusion that was created. The Six of Cups brings healing energy. It says that you can return to a state of emotional innocence and openness, that you do not have to carry the pain of what those third parties did. You can let it go and return to the pure feeling that existed before they got involved. This is about reclaiming your joy, your trust, your ability to love without fear. The Six of Cups gives you permission to be happy without waiting for the other shoe to drop, without constantly looking over your shoulder wondering if someone else is going to interfere. The interference is over. You get to just be now, to enjoy what is real and true without all the complications. I also want to mention that the Six of Cups can indicate that there might be a conversation or interaction coming up that has this nostalgic quality to it. You and this important person might talk about the past, about how things used to be, about what you meant to each other before all the drama. That conversation could be really healing and could help both of you remember why you care about each other in the first place. Sometimes we need to look back in order to move forward properly. And the Six of Cups is saying that revisiting the foundation of this connection will actually help you build something even stronger in the future. So Aquarius, let me bring all of this together for you. You have been dealing with third-party interference, with people watching and meddling in your situation. But someone important discovered what was really happening. They saw through the manipulation and the lies, and when they saw the truth, they took swift action. Those third parties got kicked out. They are no longer part of the picture. And now you are entering a phase of genuine happiness and fulfillment. You get to pursue what excites you with passion and confidence. You have absolute clarity about what is true and what matters. And at the heart of everything, there is a pure, genuine connection that has survived all the interference and is actually stronger now because the truth has been revealed. This is your time, Aquarius. This is when everything that was complicated becomes simple again. When what was hidden becomes clear. When what was toxic gets removed so that what is healthy can flourish. Trust this process. Trust that the right people stayed and the wrong people left. Trust that you are exactly where you are supposed to be.